What's going on, guys? Gabe here with the seodorks. First time visiting this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and also check out the links in the description because we've got a few goodies in there, including our charts. Now, if you have TradingView or TradingView Pro, our charts will help you understand the basis of Trade 1348. You could go, in fact, create a paper trade account and trade with momentum in the same way that our community is. It also creates the foundation to Invictus and Pythagoras. These are our predictive trading bots, and our community is realizing just astronomical success as we're able to front run momentum. Now, I want to go ahead and look at the SPY here because everyone got excited that the SPY was fairly bullish. Now, to understand why the SPY was bullish, we then have to go ahead and look at what happened with Apple. Now, Apple responded positively to Thursday's iPhone 14 release. However, we have to be extra cautious because September typically doesn't bode well for the market, and September really doesn't bode well for Apple. More importantly, I think the reason why we saw the SPY run was because, in fact, Apple did not raise prices. And they didn't raise prices in the face of inflation, which was rather interesting. And if we go ahead and we look at the Apple chart, it looks very, very similar to the SPY chart. Let me see if you guys can tell the difference. It is genetically the same. All right, moving along, we could see more of the same with Nvidia. Here we have Nvidia on the 5-minute, and we could see the chart is rather identical. Google, more of the same, more of the same. And then Microsoft, again, more of the same. Right, although a little more pronounced. Now, what I want to do is create an analogy for what I feel the market is doing right now. So imagine you're in a relationship that's just gone through it, right? One side is very, very hurt, and the other side is attempting to keep the relationship together. Now, with the SPY hitting all-time highs at 480 and then having this drawdown into the 300s, or the low 400s, if you will, you could imagine how the investor side, they're reaming with pain, right? And then you have the other side of investors who are trying to, remain hopeful and looking at the market and saying, okay, well, we have bargains right now. Let's go ahead and step in as buyers because there are bargains to be had. Now, if you really think about the SPY and how it literally came all the way down to 360, bounced and then rallied, and then CPI data in July caused a rally back up, right? Now, if you're in this relationship, you're waiting for the truths. The truths are CPI data, which come out this week, and FOMC, which the Fed will then let us know how hawkish they truly are. And that's when we see if the market's really priced in the 75 basis point hike, right? That's when we will see that. But going back to the chart here, and I want to look at the SPY. On the 5-minute of which we trade, everything looked rather bullish. If we go to the daily, again, the daily time frame just gives us more of a just a very macro perspective on what's going on market-wide. As you can see, the put signal was printed here. It made a move to the downside. However, we do have RSI breaking above its moving average, and the pinkish bars here on the histogram literally telling me that the bearish cycle could be concluding, right? And that would mean quite the possible run to 416. But all of this is, in fact, hedging on CPI data and FOMC. So both sides of this relationship are waiting for the facts. Now, we go to the weekly. I think this is where investors are really, really looking at things. Again, we had the put signal here on the weekly. You could see price action came down. Again, this is 1348, where the 13 crosses below the 48. You would expect price action to come on down. Now, we have support here at the 200 EMA, recently found support here at 393 with the SPY on the weekly. But we see a couple of things here. MACD is very, very weak, still under neutral, with the histogram printing light green and getting thinner and thinner. So this would tell me over the next couple of weeks, it's quite possible that the SPY would average out and run flat and or make that move to the downside. So we're really not out of the woods just yet. You see the news articles in the media saying, hey, now is the time to buy. We have the likes of Nvidia, which at this point has a 60% drawdown But just last year, we saw that analysts were giving Nvidia a $400 price target. And if you go ahead and look at these charts on the daily, you could see that most of everything has fallen back to pre-pandemic highs. So it's almost like the ultimate reset. At this point, do we see a continuation and a move to the upside? Well, the dynamics have changed completely. And I think, at least for the next month or two, we'll see the market remain timid and in pain. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Again, check out the links down below. 1348 for the win. We trade momentum. We don't speculate. And as it stands right now, we don't have to speculate with the SPY. We can see exactly what it is, right? Here in the weekly, the SPY is literally telling us, hey, chill out, calm down, right? And it's telling investors that as well, all right? So in order to succeed in this market, you want to trade with the trend, not against the trend. And as you could see, we had the 13 cross above the 48, and you have that movement to the upside. And this is where people make money. Anyways, you know what to do. I'm signing out. Peace.